Well, good afternoon, everybody. Now, where am I? I'm actually at Pooley Wines in Tasmania. Why am I in Tasmania? Because it's the Recruitment Consulting Services Association 2022 conference. Now, Jacob will pop a link into the comments there with a link to the conference and to this beautiful destination. Hi there, everybody. My name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And this is P2P Live, where we talk about everything employment, jobs, and the workplace on a Friday afternoon at 12:30. Now, we can see your comments live, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if you've got any comments or questions from today, please make sure you put them in there. Jam-packed. We've got our numbers section. GDP came out this week, so we'll have a look at that. We'll also be chatting to Aimee Burton from our Melbourne office. We've got 3 jobs that we need to fill today. And of course, we got the results from last week's Twitter poll. Too much to talk about, so let's quickly jump into the numbers. So this week was really exciting for the government and for everybody else going, well, are we in a recession or not? And clearly we're not. So the Australian economy rose by 0.9% seasonally adjusted in the last quarter. This is for the June quarter. So it's 3.9% for annualized growth. And the terms of trade actually improved by 4.6%. So the most interesting thing from the key data that came out with GDP was the fact that household saving ratios dropped. People seem to be spending their savings. I mean, is that sustainable with increasing interest rates? I don't know. But from a jobs perspective, we're certainly seeing no change in the jobs and employment market. It's still very, very strong. Let's have a look at these GDP numbers graphically. And you can see the trend line is the light blue line. That's the levels on the right-hand side. And you can see it's looking quite good, and you can see the quarterly ups and downs, and even the most recent 2 quarters is more consistent to pre-pandemic and the wild fluctuations that we were having there. Now, the last thing I wanted to show just this week were some numbers from Seek, where you can see the job ad volumes across each of the states in Australia. So, interestingly, you can see the decline in New South Wales. WA is holding up. SA is still very strong, and Victoria holding as well. So there's been a marked change in Queensland and New South Wales, particularly some really interesting numbers are coming through from Seek. We'll pop a link into that blog post from Seek as well. Okay, let's move on. We've got 3 jobs to fill. It's Fill Job Friday. So here's the first job. It's a customer service role. It's in Melbourne, CBD Victoria, $30 to $33 an hour. And if you're interested in this role, you've got to call Grace from our Melbourne team. That's 1300 338 546, I should say. And you'll be responsible for assisting brokers and customers with phone queries in this particular role. So you've got to have great written and verbal communication skills. If you're interested, you've got a job starting on Monday between $30 and $33 an hour. Here's the next one. It's a team administrator. It's in Sydney. And Alia Sipos is the person that you need to speak to. The key responsibilities for this administrator is that you'd be working and dealing with travel management for directors of the company. You'll need to have some diary management experience as well, and being in a similar role. So like a team assistant or a project officer as well. Clearly, Microsoft Office Suite is something you need to do. And if you really want to crack this job to start on Monday, pivot tables and VLOOKUPs are going to really get you there. Alia at people2people is the contact. We'll put the links also to these jobs in the comments there as well. The last one for today is the trades assistant. And this is in Adelaide. It's $30 an hour. Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 weeks for this particular temp assignment. Start on Monday. So you actually be working on cooling towers with experienced technicians. There's some technical items that you can see on the screen there that I'm not going to go through, but you need to have a white card and your own PPE to get this role. Ellis Fielding is the person you need to speak to in our Adelaide office, 83174800. That's 08 for Adelaide. But also you've got the link to the ads in the comments there. Now, if you're sitting on a bus and you can't, well, how am I going to apply for this? You can use video to do that. Vply is the way that you can do that. You can use Vply to apply for these particular roles. Now, I can see Jacob skipped over the three vacancies there. Let's quickly go through them one more time. Customer service job, the team administrator in Sydney, and the trades role in Adelaide. So Melbourne customer service, team administrator in Sydney, and a trades assistant in Adelaide. Plenty of jobs to fill. Right, well, let's move on. Let's now have a quick chat to Amy, who's got some very interesting comments about keeping candidates interested. To get us there, though, here's a video that Jacob will run.
Hi everyone, Peter here from the temp supply chain team at People2people Parramatta. I'm excited to be working with a large and well-established pharmaceutical company to recruit for some process workers to join their team in Minto. This is a great opportunity to join a growing industry and secure a role that has long-term and permanent potential with a high-quality training program. All the positions we have are full-time, working Monday to Friday, paying $28.50 to $35.50 an hour across 3 shifts. Morning, which is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m, afternoon, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m, and overnight, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. These roles will have you working across the production and manufacturing of different types of tablets, powders, capsules, and liquids. And depending on your area of work, your tasks will include, but will not be limited to, operating machinery, so dispensing, mixing, and condensing machines, correctly filling out and verifying labels for all their products, following set guidelines around the manufacturing of their products, and maintaining a clean and tidy environment. So, what do you need to be successful in your application? We're currently looking for candidates that have a great work ethic and are highly reliable, have great attention to detail, and excellent written, verbal, and numerical skills. Also, having previous experience in a similar/fast-paced environment, that being pharmaceutical or fast-moving consumer goods, and also working with machines or machine operation is ideal. You do need to be physically fit, so there may be up to 15 to 20 kilograms of lifting. There will be a police check for all candidates as well, and you do need to have a reliable means of transport. There is free parking on site too. If you are looking for your next exciting opportunity with great training and growth, please get in contact with me on the details below. Thank you.
Okay, well, it's now time to have a chat to Aimee Burton from our Melbourne team. It's great to have Amy back. And Amy, thanks for joining us here today. So can you tell us, what are some ways that we can stay in touch with candidates? Because, I mean, there's this whole idea if you don't keep in touch with people, you might lose them. How should we do that?
Thank you so much, Mark. So some great ways that we can keep in touch with our candidates during their notice period include calling them to congratulate them after we've received the written acceptance. So this can be done both by the agency and also the employer themselves. I think that's always a really nice touch. Checking in to confirm that all the compliance has been handled as well. So with some firms, they'll have some compliance checks that need to be completed. So once that is complete, just sending them an email or taking the opportunity to give them a call to let them know that that's all done, I think is great. Also sending them a message with what to expect on their first day. So I think, maybe a week or two before them starting, sending a bit of a brief itinerary, even if you don't have the play-by-play. I think a brief itinerary is good and helpful. And for some, they like to invite the candidate in for like a team coffee or to drop into the office to say hello to the team. So it actually gives them the opportunity to meet a few more people that they might not have met during the interview process. Dropping them a message with any exciting news that has happened within the team. Obviously, a great one is another recruit. So they're not going to be the new kid for too long. And the last one I'll mention is sending a calendar invite for their first week to have a coffee or lunch with either their manager or their team, so they have something to look forward to.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So, well, why should we be getting in touch with people like this, Aimee? What's the reason for that?
It's really important for us to keep in touch with candidates during their notice period because counter offers are happening very often now during the notice period. So this can happen with their current employer. They may have handed in their resignation and it was accepted, but then they have, maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks, possibly even more with their employer. And employers can be pretty persistent during those times of having quite intense meetings and offering different benefits to try and encourage them to stay. So that can definitely happen. Also, if they have been quite active in their job search, they might have other firms that are offering to them as well. And also even their clients. So we had a candidate who was offered a position from one of their clients when they were doing a handover. So yeah, lots of different scenarios there for you.
Yes, some really cool stuff there from Aimee. Thank you very much. She's been away on holiday, so it's fabulous to have her back here on P2P Live on Friday. So thanks again, Aimee. So now we've just got the Twitter poll to look at. So let's have a look at the results from last week. So last week, we asked the question, got to put my glasses on this, it's all too sunny here in Tasmania. What's going on? Have you considered quiet quitting? Hashtag quiet quitting. This is this new thing. There's also a webinar we've got coming up on that, so you should keep an eye out for that as well. Yeah, 55%, over half of the Australian. We had about 700 people respond to this. 55% of those people said, yeah, I've considered. Solid 40 said no. But other people are pointing the finger at their colleagues going, no, but a co-worker has. I can see they're quite quitting over there. There's a label for it now when you see your colleague not actually only doing as minimal amount to get paid. So there it is. So here's this week's Twitter poll. So have you experienced quiet firing at work? Or maybe it should be, what is it, quiet firing? Or should it be loud firing? I don't know. Hashtag loud firing, hashtag quiet quitting, hashtag quiet firing. Yes, I have. No, I haven't. No, but a co-worker has. If you don't even know what it is, jump onto our socials at people2people. Ask the question there. Let's engage in a conversation. Let's see what happens. LinkedIn and Twitter, and we'll release those results next week. Righto, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here from the fabulous Cooley Wines. Check out, click on their link here in Tasmania. And thanks again to all of the RCSA crew for a fabulous conference here in Hobart as well. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. I certainly will. We'll see you again 12:30 next week.